Hello, hello, hello.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Here we are again. It's Tuesday, and Tuesdays make me kind of sad, Linda. And I think you're muted. There you
Okay,
go. Um, Tuesdays make me kind of sad because that means I won't see y'all again until Monday.
right.
But it's all right, I guess. Gives me a whole lot more time to get ready for next week.
Yeah,
So my thing is, who's going to lead us into victory, right?
right.
Well, um, what do you think? I'm going to let you say your piece first and then I'll.
Well, it all depends on what we're talking about because there's a whole lot of things going on right now.
Well, we know it's not going to be P. Diddy because P. Diddy is in all kind of trouble because he's an idiot and a moron. And he wouldn't. He went to court today, and I'm not sure what happened to him because I was just watching it. But I know that he sure definitely didn't get no stinking. He didn't get to get out. He's still in there. So there you go.
Yeah, and I guess Gavin Newsom isn't going to give the Menendez brothers clemency right now.
Hey KMM, oh my gosh, it's Tuesday and you're here with
Hi,
us.
KMM.
KMM, I'm so glad you're here because I got to tell you something. But I was going to hold it back till Monday because I usually don't see you on Tuesday. Um, but your nephew's getting ready to get his kidney here in the very near future. Very near future. Like probably after Monday because I was holding back. Um, so next week, all right, I'll go there. I think it's gonna happen. The third kidney's coming on, and it's coming on really quick. So I think we're looking at, yeah, I think we're looking at next week. Um, because I had a dream about it last night. So, you know what? All glory goes to God and those that praise Him. So, yeah. And
Absolutely.
you know what? Um, it's going to happen, and it's on its way. You know, y'all, it's really funny how some people see different things and how it works because some people see it's what you relate to, right? And I saw
Sure.
Speedy Delivery, Speedy Delivery. Remember him? You
No.
don't remember him? Oh, I bet KMM remembers him. Um, yeah, well, in my dream, it was like, I got a speedy delivery. And I thought, and he had a box and he was in a hospital. And I thought, oh, I know what this is all about. And you're not going to have to be worried about being, you're not going to have to worry about it because speedy delivery, it's getting ready to happen next week. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I had to push that out there. I was going to
Of
send
course,
KMM.
absolutely. That's great news.
Well, I was going to send KMM a message, but I
It's
didn't.
always better in person, kind of, sort
Oh
of.
well, I was going to send her a message, but when I saw her name, I just brought that back up. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So, yeah, he's not going to grant them clemency. He's going to hold off on it. And, explain to me this. I'm not understanding. Now, the new DNA, a new,
Okay, so Gavin Newsom isn't going to grant them clemency when actually Gavin Newsom should be hanging from a rope himself.
well, this is true.
All right.
But I don't understand how the DA opened the case back up so that they would get a new hearing for new sentencing. Now, that DA got replaced in the election. That doesn't go into effect until December. And it's like he goes into office, I think like December 1st, and their court date is like December 10th or something like that.
Right. And I saw that interview where he said, hey, Teeny, it's good to see you.
Hi, Teeny.
I saw that interview, I think the same interview where he said that he needed to go through the paperwork.
Well, I don't understand. If the DA that's acting DA right now, and they have a court case for it, how can the new DA come in and stop that? Explain that to me, because I'm not understanding that.
Okay, well, here's the thing. He shuffled it off. I noticed that too. He shuffled it off, and he's backing away from it and giving it to the new one that's coming in because he will no longer be in charge. I saw that. I saw that. But there's a lot of shuffling that happens.
Yeah, and I guess we have to watch Dateline on Friday to see what the
know what? I got a feeling inside that the Menendez brothers they're going to be fine. They're going to get out. There is no way they can hold them any longer.
No, and I think if anything, nothing short of President Trump, being inaugurated, I think he could step in too.
He could. And here's the deal. These are exemplary inmates.
Right. Right.
They've never caused any problems. They've never gotten any points. They've never done anything wrong. They went in, they did the thing, and so there should be no reason.
Right.
What is here we go. What are my feelings about Russia? What are your feelings about Russia? I'll tell you my feelings about Russia.
What are my feelings about Russia?
Mm-hmm.
I think this whole thing is going to come to a screeching halt.
Amen. It's going to. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to tell you something right now. Putin is, I don't know if you've ever been. No, they are, kind of. But I'm going to say this. If you ever been on a farm and you watched a banty rooster, how they push up their chest when they walk? That's Putin right now. He's puffing his chest, but he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing because Trump's already asked him to stand down, and you know what? He'll stand down. So I'm not too worried about Russia right now. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Now, who I'm a little worried about is Little Rocket Man starting something and then wanting to step down and not being able to. Now, that's what worries me.
Well, we certainly don't want his sister in there either.
No, because she's crazy too.
She's worse than him.
He is, Teeny. You're absolutely right. Putin is good in the Trump office, but
no,
I think Little Rocket Man. I think Little Rocket Man likes Trump too, and I think that he has a lot of respect. But I don't know why I feel like you know how you do stupid things and then it's too late to back out. I just got this feeling he's going to do something stupid and he's going to wish he hadn't. I don't know. And I hope I'm wrong because you know what? I'd be more than happy to hope I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much you're watching about the whole Biden saga and stepping aside, but there's a couple of things that have happened this week. For one, Biden pledged $4 billion to keep the World Bank's level above ground.
And that's ridiculous.
And
It's not up to us to keep the World Bank afloat. Come on, guys.
right. And Xi Jinping, which dude must have smoked something, because he told Biden basically stay in your lane when it comes to Taiwan. The man only has 40 more some days, 40 odd days, if even that. Yeah. What is it? 31, 20, 50 days? Whatever.
That ain't gonna happen either.
Why would you be telling Biden to stay in his lane basically about Taiwan?
Because you're just, like I said, it's that Banny Rooster thing. He ain't gonna do anything either.
You're a puffed up peacock, and
you know what? You ain't gonna do nothing.
And you're gonna end up crawling back to and the other thing is he also warned Biden about getting in their business about communism.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's just talking a lot of smack right now.
Well, yeah, he's another puffed up peacock.
Yep.
And and they're all going to go crawling with their tail between their legs.
Absolutely.
Like they always do.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm waiting for the Vatican to puff up. That's the next one.
You know what, Linda, I don't know if you heard this, but you know that Trump is bringing our military home, right?
Yes.
All right.
Bringing our military home, and he's putting them on the streets to get rid of all the illegals.
All right. So there is, okay, so this is what y'all need to be concerned about. There is your concern. Don't worry about Russia. Don't worry about China. Don't worry about North Korea. Don't worry about all these other countries. What you need
to get ourselves straight.
What you need to be worried about is the ones that we already have in here that's infiltrated into our society. And we have to get rid of them. You know, I was laughing today because I said, here's the deal. If I'm so bad, nobody wants me and they want to send me to another country, what makes you think for 1 second that other country wants you either? I'm just saying, I really don't want them here. So, but what makes me so doggone mad, and Linda, it infuriates me, these states that are standing up saying, no, we're going to protect them. They're here already. We're going to protect them. Well, you know what? One of them is Massachusetts, and that's not a very big state. So Massachusetts, if you want all these rapists and murderers and killers and all these people, we can put them in and we'll build a fence around you.
Oh, but wait a minute. Let's roll back time.
Yeah.
When the illegals got to Cape Cod, what happened?
Oh, yeah. See? Well,
Cape Cod. I'm not talking about Martha's Vineyards. I'm talking about Cape Cod.
Yeah, and you know what? They didn't learn from that, did they?
No, but they didn't want them there in Cape Cod.
Nope, and they didn't want them in Martha Vineyard either, but we're going to send them all over there. And then we're going to put a fence around it and say, this is where you're going to stay.
I mean, let's face it.
I heard that KMM Minnesota saying they don't want them to be deported either. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? We know that we don't have the best of the best in here. Sorry.
No, I didn't see that Biden wandered away in the Amazon. What was that? Just the Amazon warehouse? Sorry, I had to. Well,
that's because he's so lost anyway.
Exactly. And let's see, what else was there? Oh, and at that G20 summit that they just had, again, talk about a huge slap in the face for America. First time ever, first time ever a U.S. president was in the back row and off to the side,
Well, I'm sure.
not even in the center.
I'm sure. All right, y'all. I got to give me 1 second to expound upon something real quick. Because before I got on here, my beautiful, most wonderful, loving daughter came and showed me a video that infuriated me. And I said, you know what? Okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you there's not a lady in my community that watches me that wants to give up her rights as a female. Okay. She does not want to give up her voting rights. She don't want to give up her mouth. And she's just as important as her husband. Am I not right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And it infuriates me when I hear a woman that is nothing but a doormat turn around and look at her husband and he says, you hush. And she goes, yes. No, absolutely not. We earned our right to vote and we're not giving it up. Okay, that ain't never going to happen. Never. We earned, and you know, this woman went as far as to say that women cannot make a decision. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of single mothers that had to make decisions on their own, and their kids are fine. Okay, there was no man around to make those decisions.
Unless they're a Libra.
Your kids turned out beautiful, so you just hush. Two, we had some very strong women in our history. Think about it.
We have.
Joan of Arc was a tough little cookie, and so was Margaret Thatcher. It doesn't mean that a woman can't be in high power. It just means that just not right now. We just haven't found the right one yet.
Right. And I agree with that. I have no problem if it was like a Laura Trump. I would have no problem with it. Or if it was like a Carrie Lake, I would have no problem with it.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You want a woman that has gonads of steel. Because see, here's the thing. We don't feel like this, but the Middle East still kind of lives back in the old days where women are supposed to eat after the dog, and that ain't never going to happen on my house or any other house I know. But she's going to have to go head to head with these guys.
Doesn't Mexico have their first woman president?
They chased her off. I know who you're talking about. And they chased her off, but you know what? She did take power. She sure did. The people rallied behind her, and yes, she sure did.
And then you had Margaret Thatcher, and
wow.
she was the prime minister, which is
equivalent. And she was something else. Margaret Thatcher was something else.
I wouldn't have wanted to go toe to toe with her.
No. So I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, there's some women out there that can do their thing. And I believe that someday we will have one woman there. We just haven't met her yet. Not for the United States anyway.
Right. No, she's going to have to be very strong with a very thick skin.
A very thick skin. And you know what? So, when they say emotional, women are emotional. Margaret Thatcher was in a hotel one time, and it sticks with me. She was in a hotel one time, and the hotel got blown up, and her son was on the other side of the hotel. That was the side that got blown up. Now I don't know, her son just happened not to be there, but I'm telling you what, She never thought once about her son. She thought about everything else before she went to her son.
Yep.
Now, there's a difference because I'm going to tell you right now, if one of my babies were over there, I'd be worried sick. See, this is the kind of lady you got to have. And we just haven't ran across that lady yet. That can turn off. They can turn off those emotions when they have a child.
Right. Right.
But I'm sure we'll find one.
I mean, there are
Maybe we'll have one who doesn't have any children.
There are a lot of powerful women,
Very.
CEOs and stuff that
Very.
are capable of that. You know, they're capable of shutting that down.
Right?
But there's too many of us moms and women that aren't capable of that.
Well, I don't know. I think that you could probably put Hillary Clinton in that
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I was going to say
that thought of cold-blooded.
yes. Yeah, she would definitely anything would come before Chelsea. And it did.
But you know what? They had taken her out, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Or Nancy Pelosi. She's another one.
She's weak.
Well,
I
actually,
think she's
so
weak.
strong. I think she powers the people. I think that's what happens. She powers people underneath her. She's like Hamas.
Yeah, she wears the veil.
Yeah, she does. She's not all that. So when we start thinking about our victory, because see, here's when I say victory, I talk about our country being number one again, because we're not number one right now. Sorry to say, we're not number one.
Mm-mm.
And you know, I remember learning in history, and correct me if I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong here, because I welcome that. But every country follows after the United States. And if the United States go down, so do a lot of other countries. So we got to get back up there, guys. We got to stand tall so that the rest of them will stand tall. And then once we get up there and they all stand tall, then, you know, Trump said, which was very interesting. Trump said he believed that, you know how the peso is like 1,000 pesos to $1 in the United States or whatever. He said, you know what? We all need to be on an even keel. We need one for one here.
Yeah.
You know, when that happens, you see a lot of things change.
You know how that's going to happen? It's going to happen with crypto. And I don't know if anybody has seen this or not. And I mean, obviously, I'm not in the position, but I was watching a show today, and there is a crypto out there called BAAT, BAAKT. If you have the money, it was $29 a coin. I would invest in it because that is what is going behind Trump's Truth Social. And since it was on the TV, it's already gone up.
Well, and if you can't do that,
so if you're looking to get into crypto, I invest that one.
And if you can't do that, you got to have it in hands. And we're going to go back to God's money, silver and gold, y'all.
Yeah,
silver and gold, y'all.
Right.
You got silver and gold.
Hi, Donna.
Silver. All right, now let me explain something to you a little bit. I love Donna. Donna, it's so good to see you. And please forgive me for not calling you today. My day was some kind of day. All right, so let me talk to you about something here. Do you know that silver is in all your technological stuff? It's in your computers because they solder with it. Because silver doesn't deteriorate, right? So you got it in your TVs, you got it everywhere. And they say we have so much silver. We have an overabundance of silver.
Yes.
Here, let me blow some more smoke up your tailpipe, and tell you it's raining. Because we don't. We don't. We don't have all this silver they're saying we have. We got some, but we don't have what they're saying we have. Gold, we have more gold actually than we have silver. And gold, what do they use for gold? Jewelry?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a conductor.
Right.
So, this is what I'm trying to say to you. Eventually, will it ever be as high as gold? Probably not. But it's going to be a heck of a lot higher than it is right now.
Yeah.
So, this is something you can think about, throwing a little silver in your pocket for a rainy
I mean,
day.
and if you can really afford it, go for the platinum.
Well, you can really afford it, go for the gold. I mean, gosh dang, if I had a little bit extra money. But just saying, it's all food for thought.
Right.
But I push the prep, the prep, the prep, the prep. Linda's with
We
me.
did.
Prep, prep, prep. Well, I hope y'all did because I think your prepping is going to come in handy when they start doing the deportation. I think this is a time that all that's going to come in handy because we all thought prep, we all saw prep, and we didn't see it for no reason. We just now we're kind of
And it was when the military was on the streets.
Yep.
And that's about to happen, guys.
Yep. Yep.
It's about to happen.
Well, Royal Apple, I think you're getting ready to see mothers are going to have a big job here pretty soon in this country. I'm going to tell you, I wish my mama could hear this because she'd say, oh my God, she finally admitted it. No, Q is not Trump.
No.
Q is not Trump.
No.
That is an absolute farce, and that's not true. I'm
No.
telling you right now, that's not true.
No, he's not.
The most thankless job out of all the jobs in the world is a mother's job.
Absolutely.
And I have learned that because I'm telling you what, mothers go through a lot.
Absolutely. They go through silent torture.
Yep. And you know
Their
what?
kids don't even know that they're crying inside.
And I would go through it again anytime.
I mean, I still cry inside for my boys and they don't even know it.
You know what? I'm with you 100% right there. Linda, I'm going to let you take over for a little bit because I explained my situation to you, and I'll be right back.
Yes. Yes. No. Donna, I think you're right. I think Q was, and it's backed off a lot. It has backed off a lot, but I do believe Q was a psychops. Um, it knew too much information for some things. Yeah, it certainly did. And other things, it was, that you could put two and two together, and sometimes it equaled four, but sometimes two and two equaled 34. Um, and they always left it, but there had to be something more. Trump doesn't need to play games like that. And if he's going to say something, he's going to say it and he's going to take the credit for it. He's just not going to put a little bug in your ear and be like, oh, by the way, watch for this. No, he came right out and said everything that he's ever wanted to say, and that's where the whole conspiracy theories and everything else came about. Yes, KMM, it is the best job, but that is exactly where I'm at with Q. I used to follow Q. I know there was a big following of Q. But I'm still on the fence about it now. I don't I don't know where, and that is what bothered me, is I didn't know where it was coming from. And is it, false information? A lot of it was true information, but why were they putting it out there? Why were they doing that, to get people's goats, or why? Why did they do it? Is the big question. Did they really want people to did they really want people to know the information? And was that like the insider? Was that the good CIA that was coming out doing it? I mean, it could have been CIA. It could have been something else too. It could have been a civilian that worked in the CIA building. We don't know. Um, but I think there was there's more to it. There was more to it, and I just really, with everything else going on, I really haven't investigated Q to know where I really even sit with it anymore.
I think Q is a bunch of people. I don't think it's just one. I think it's a bunch of people, and I think it's a bunch of very intelligent people with very high ranks. That's kind of my own personal opinion.
And I think it's good guys.
Oh yeah, I
I
believe.
think it's good guys. Um,
Yep, I do believe that Q is good.
but
Q has warned us of everything so far, right?
and I do, I mean, I do believe that when they put out there that, Trump was going to come back in 2020, I do believe that that was the goal that they were going for, was to prove that the election was a fraud. But it never came to fruition.
Don, I'm going to tell you this. I think that Q, it felt like misled information, but I think the way it was delivered,
Yeah.
it felt that way because I think these are people in very high places that
Yes.
don't want to give themselves up. So it's almost like you got to be able to read between the lines when you listen to Q.
Yeah, and Royal Apple, it could very well be. It could have been the military mixed with.
It could have been. There could have been some very ranking.
It could have been the Pentagon.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bunch of people that had inside information, that's for sure.
I can guarantee you.
That's for dang sure.
Yep. Yep. I can tell you this. I can tell you that Q came around to give you a heads up. And boy, didn't he pull some heads out of the sand. And it's just not him as in one, it's him as in a big group, which could be ladies too. Q is a group.
Right. It's not.
You know what? Donna, I just want to say real quick, I'm going to send you something. I'm going to send you something that is going to blow your socks off. There's a lady in Switzerland, and you know what? You pulled this out too quick for me. You're quick, but I'm going to show you some stuff that Q helped her with, and let you read it, let you hear it, and you'll change your mind. But right now, I'm a little. I'm not sure what the name of it was, but I'm going to get that information to you because it's incredible. It's incredible, and you'll think totally different about Q than you do right now. Q has gotten a bad rap, and there's a lot there to ingest. I think that Q came out in a time when things were so dark and was telling the truth that yet they had to put a shade over everything. Does that make sense? Lynn, does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Yeah. I mean, they're trying to put a shade over everything because you know what they're trying to. Okay, there's another channel that's kind of like that. And his name is Monkey Works. And if you don't listen to Monkey Works really close, you miss a lot of things because he says things that if you're not listening, you'll miss it. And he's pretty amazing too. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah, I like Monkey Works.
I love Monkey Works.
I do. I like Monkey Works. But so yeah, that's how I feel about Q. I think it was more than we'll ever know what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still out there.
And I think there's a lot more that Q has to say.
And a lot of people thought that Q was a movement.
Right. But it's not. It's a group of people that wear the vendetta mask. Let me ask y'all, and I want each and every, I mean, there's 6 of us here and we talk honestly with each other, right? What do you think about all the people that Trump has put into his administration? Are you happy with all of them?
Did you hear that Dr. Oz is going to be in charge of Medicare and Medicaid?
Really?
Yes.
All right. All right. I mean, I'm just saying he's put a lot of people in different places, and I want you to tell me that you're happy with all of his selections. Are y'all? Or do you think
hear all of them?
All of them. Or do you think there could have been somebody a little bit better that could have been put in positions that weren't?
Well, depending on what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about all of them.
But I mean, like
Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State.
Yeah, I haven't heard all of them.
Well, we got Marco Rubio as Secretary of State.
I think he could have got a better choice.
You know what? I'm with you, KMM. You know what, Chris? Thank you.
Me too.
All right. All right. See, this is the point I want to get home. You know, okay, let me say this real quick before I go bashing. All right. Y'all know that I love Donald Trump with all my heart. And I think that he is going to lead this country to a victory that is beyond, right? But just like everything else in life, there's people over there that's going to kiss your butt and tell you that you are the most wonderful person that ever walked, and you're going to believe it. And, you know, great.
Just don't turn around and walk away.
And are great schmoozers, you know, and Trump is one of those that if you tell him how great he is, he likes you. I mean, I hate to be like that, and I love him with all my heart. He is like that. And I think, you know, I'm not real happy with Rubio. I'm not. I'm like, where the heck did you come from? What
Right.
rock did you crawl out of? What were you thinking, Trump? Just because he's over there in Florida doesn't mean he can do a good job. I'm sorry, leave him where he's at. That's kind of my own opinion. And again, that is my opinion. But I don't think Marco Rubio is a good choice.
No, I don't either. I don't either. I know there's controversy over the Commerce too, who he picked for Commerce.
I don't know. I don't know who he picked for Commerce, but I'll tell you what, I do like Matt Gates, and I always have.
They're trying to rip him to shreds right now.
Well, don't worry, because you know who else are trying. Well, okay, see, and Kristi Noem, isn't Kristi Noem the one that Donna that you said? Isn't that the one that shot her dog?
I think so.
Yeah, that wasn't a good thing. I don't know. Let's talk about it, y'all. Because there's a lot of people that I think that are getting put in positions that I'm not real. I mean, I think they're schmoozing him. Here's okay.
I don't think they're schmoozing him this time. I think he has a plan this time around. And I think he's thought very long and hard over it. And who somebody put in here to prove a point. Was it Donna? Oh, Teeny. Maybe to expose them.
Oh, well,
maybe there is a few.
Maybe that is the truth.
Maybe there is a few.
And you know what? I can agree with that.
You're absolutely right. He has a playbook this time.
Because you know what? There's some really weak people. That would be like him turning around and putting that dumb guy from Utah in there. What's his name?
Oh,
yeah. Stupid name. And he ran for president.
Yeah. Yeah, I can picture his face.
I can too, but you know what? There's just some people. I'm going to tell y'all. I'm a MAGA and I'm a Trump supporter, but I don't. There's some people that are on my side that I don't want on my side. You know, it's like when you're getting ready to play kickball and you go, "Don't get her! I don't want her on our team."
Right, right.
And it happens, and you're like, "Oh God, we're gonna lose now because she's on our team."
Yeah, he learned lessons from last time. Right.
Bring quiet to the world. You know what? And he has. Chris Raps, and he has.
Right, right.
He has brought peace, and he'll bring peace again.
Right.
And Trump is not stupid. So, you know what? This is okay. So, this is the thing about blind faith, right?
Right.
Right? This is the thing about blind faith. When they say, well, there is no God, you've never seen him. Well, I believe, and I believe he's there. So if you have faith in someone or something, you got to kind of stand back and think, well, you're leading this ship. Who am I to tell you?
Right.
Maybe you got something else on your agenda. And dear God, I hope that's the case because.
Oh, I'm sure he has a lot on his agenda this time.
You know, I hope so because I'm not a Rubio fan. And
no. I never was a Rubio fan.
You know, but hopefully, you know, what they say, they can change their ways.
I'd like to see him put a few people in there, but you know, like people from the Senate, but we need them in the Senate, and that's why I think, you know, I would love to see Ted Cruz have a spot in the cabinet.
Oh my God! You know what? Every time
we need him where he's at.
I love Ted Cruz. He reminds me of Grandpa Munster.
Yep. Door too. We need him.
Oh, I
Jim
love.
Jordan.
Oh, you know what? If I was had went to Jim Jordan school, I would have gone out with Jim Jordan because I thought he's as cute as he could be. Of course, when I was going to school, he probably wouldn't have gave me a second look. Anyway, um, I want to tell you guys something that happened to me this morning, and it has to do with this little circle here, and I don't know who it has to do with. But I woke up this morning and I'm telling you what, I had plenty of sleep this time, Linda.
Good.
But I woke up and I was dead dog tired. I mean, I felt like I
Me
had
too.
my eyes open all night long. And I didn't. I know I didn't.
Right. Me too.
Um, so I got out of bed. Well, I didn't get out of bed. I laid there and then I thought, okay, I got to do this. I got to make the day, got to meet the day, got to meet the day, right? And I turned around and I was getting ready to get out of bed. And I was met with 7 people. And I don't
Oh
know
no.
these 7 people. I have no idea who these 7 people are. So I'm going to describe these 7 people. And I want y'all to tell me if you know who they are, if they're any relation to you. Yes. Yes, Donna. Um, anyway, so one was a little short man, couldn't have been any taller than about, I say short. He was taller than me probably, but he's about 5'6", salt and pepper hair, kind of heavy set, looked like he might be Italian. And then standing next to him
Good.
was Linda. All right, and you froze. And then standing next to him was a great big tall man, about 6'3" or 6'4", salt and pepper hair, very, very properly dressed, um, very studious. And then standing next to him, and what was really funny is standing next to him was a little tiny woman. Kind of, she had white hair, very, very, very uh, happy face, very happy features, um, very loving and kind. But you could see that she was with whoever this tall man was because. And then next to her was this man, and he was about 5'10". And I think his hair might have been blonde at one time, but it was like a salt. It was like a, you know how when a blonde turns gray, it's kind of a blondish gray. And very studious, another very smart one. And I was sitting there, and there was one more person standing there, and we have a 4-poster bed. Okay, it's a big, like oak tree. You know the oak tree canopy
The
kind of.
solid poster
Right,
beds.
right. And this one was standing right against the oak with his hand up like this, you know, and very strong, and he was doing this. And I thought, oh no, this one's got an opinion. So I kind of sat there and I looked over and I said, I don't know who y'all are, I don't know what you're doing in my bedroom, but whatever it is you got to say, let's get this out because I'd like to go on my day. Well, the one that was leaning against the post said, he had a very strong accent. I'm going to say it could have been Norwegian, maybe. And he said, not in my time. This stuff never happened in my time. And I said, well, what are y'all talking about? And it didn't happen in your time. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? Because you know what? Don't y'all invade on me. What are we going with this? And that cute little blonde-headed lady, whoever she was, God love her, she said, well, we're just here to tell you that you know what? Things are getting ready to turn around. And I said, well, who are you? And she said, you have a link to me. Okay, fine. All right. Because I know at that point, I know somebody that's related to this woman. And she said, and she giggled. And she said, how did she put it? She said, I used to be a ringtail tutor, but you know what? I brought happiness everywhere I went. And I said, you know, I believe that because I can see that in your face. She said, well, I'm going to, and she didn't talk like me. She talked regular, but she said, I was a ringtail tutor. And you know what? You have a link to me and I'm going to tell you. And she must have been, I say she's short. She was probably about 5'6". And she said, and I would have one message to deliver. And you know who you are? You know who you are? I'm just telling you, don't worry, honey. We're with you. We're with you. Don't do no more sleepless nights because we're with you. We're here praying with you. And I said, all right, well, I'll deliver that message. I don't know who it goes to, but I'll deliver it. And then this little man, I swear he was Italian. I don't know who he was, but he was Italian. And he had that real thick Italian accent. And he said, I'm not really sure. He goes, I got a link to you too, but I'm not sure they know who I am, but they've seen a picture of me. But I want to tell them that, you know what? They did a good job. They did a good job. No one could have done it better. So, and then, and then that very, very, very tall man that looked like Lurch. He didn't look like Lurch. He was just really tall. He started laughing. And his comment was really different. His comment was this. If whoever this links to, I taught you how to think, I taught you what to do, and I taught you that your hands are the most important in the world. Do it by hand, and if you can't do it by hand, read about it. And if there ain't no reading, then you know what? It's not important. And I said, okay, well, I'll deliver that for y'all. And then they said, we love you. And then they just, psh. And I thought, gosh, dog it. Am I going to go through all this again? So I don't know who y'all, I hope y'all can figure out who they are. No, no, Royal Apple. No, you know what? Well, I could if I concentrated hard enough, but they came to me, and I like it better that way because then I know there's a message they have to deliver.
No one I know.
Knowing you know, you can't. Can anybody in here? Can anybody in here accept any of those people? I know that one guy that was really tall had great big hands. Great big hands. He's a worker. You could tell he was a hard worker. He might have been a rancher. I don't know. Just
Mm.
thinking.
Hmm.
No, doesn't sound like anybody y'all know. All right.
Somebody that's going to watch this later.
Well, y'all, if any of you guys, if you watch it afterwards and you can take what I saw this morning, please leave it in the comments because I'm telling you right now, these people were as real as you and I. And whatever they had to say, they were delivering it.
Good night, Chris. Thanks for stopping in.
Good night, Chris. It's so good to see you. Do a thumbs up on your way out the door, please. Wow.
No, I don't. None of my relatives. Because all of my relatives were sassy.
Well, I was trying to think. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I know. Okay. Yeah, you know what, Royal Apple? I think the one was your dad. And you know what? I'm gonna get even more precise. I think the one little woman and the other man standing against my bedpost was KMM's mom and dad because I've seen them before. It looks a little bit different this time, but
Maybe younger.
no, they were a little more comforted, you know?
Yeah.
See, there's a difference when they come to you and you drum them up. When
Yeah.
you drum, when I summons and drum them up, they look different. I almost said, aren't you? I've seen you before. And I swear that, no, KMM, I swear to you that little one was your mama. It was about 5'6". Isn't she about 5'6"? Little bitty thing.
Well, it's 12 for me.
Oh, so the tall one from Norway was your daddy, was your grandpa. All right, there you go. Yep, I thought it was Norwegian. I thought that was a Norwegian voice. Yeah. Well, if y'all think about it and it all resonates with you, then please tell me because it'll drive me crazy if someone don't take it.
Yeah.
Well, doggone it, Connie. I'm sorry, y'all. It's that time again. All right.
Yeah.
I hate it when it's that time again.
Yes.
I'll say a prayer for each and every one of you tonight. And
Can I touch on something before we go on? Because I just saw Royal Apple said they're all staying very close in a timeline. That to me is confirmation that we're all supposed to be here.
I'm going to tell you something.
Does that make sense?
Well, yes. And I'm going to tell you something. Here's our deal. All right. God puts everybody in your path for a reason.
Right.
All right. Always, always. And when I decided to do this, I mean, I struggled. I'm telling you, I struggled. I struggled hard. I was like, I ain't doing this. I am not one to get in front of the camera, and no, I am not doing this. Okay.
And we were going to take this in this direction.
Yeah, and I was like, can you ask me to do anything? Can I go out and sweep the porch? Can I do anything but this? It's like, no, this is what I want you to do. And I said, all right, all right. And so I prayed heavily. Y'all, I want you to know, I prayed very heavily because I said, dear God, please don't make me do this by myself. I don't want to do this by myself. I am not a one-time person, or I'm not this big actress, and please don't make me do this by myself. So I did a few videos on my own, and I thought, this is just not going to work. I can't do this by myself. And you know what? God put Linda in my path. And you know, what a blessing. What a blessing. That's what happened. And God put Linda in my path. And it's been rock and roll ever since. So, you know what? Is there a God? Absolutely, positively, beyond no doubt in my head, there is definitely a God. And he will make your path easier if you ask. And I told Linda, I said, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this with me? Do you want to do this? And she was, great guns. Let's go. Let's do it. And I thought, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you all, all unanswered prayers. So
all in. So yes, KMM, it does. It feels like a little family unit.
And you know what? You can invite whoever you want to, but we want to keep this tight knit family unit. We don't want none of those trolls or none of those crazy people or none of that crazy stuff.
Right.
So, you know what, Dawn, that's funny. Look at this. Look what she just asked me. You broke horses and you're afraid of this. Let me tell you a story here. When it's a horse, I don't have to talk to it. I don't have to look at it. It's just me and him, and that's it. It's all over. But I'm going to tell you what, the worst, and my daughter laughs every time I tell the story. I broke some big horses, and the worst horse I ever broke in my life was a Shetland pony. I'm telling you what, Shetland ponies are like Chihuahuas. They just don't give up. They just think they think they're Clydesdale. They're just horrible. They're horrible. Yes. Did Broncos did all that stuff. Yes, they are. I'm telling you, they are just vicious. They think they are just big horse, and they're not. But they'll buck you and throw you, and they're hard to break.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Go ahead. You say your stuff. I'm tired talking.
No, I was just going to say. So here's my answer to who will lead us to victory.
Okay.
We will lead ourselves to victory.
You know what?
Person.
You're absolutely right. As we follow, you know what? If we do what's right, and we know what's right, and we follow those that are right, we will lead ourselves to victory. You got it. Isn't that funny how you knew that answer? And did I telepathically send that to you? I'm just
could very well be, or we've got that great minds think alike. We love you, everybody. Thank you for your support.
Y'all. And we will see you on Monday. It's the best day of the week. And you know what? Look, I'm being followed by the military.
And have a safe weekend.
Yep, please.
And get your prep started for Thanksgiving.
Yep. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Love y'all.
Bye, everybody.
See you Monday.